Welcome to Polypulse, your daily South African political pulse. Today, the Madlanga Commission is back in the spotlight, and there are fresh revelations about state capture that you need to hear. Stick with me for the breakdown. Here's what's happening. Click, like, and subscribe. Roll the clips.
Who the investigating officer was, and a sergeant governor stepped forward and spoke to me.
Architecture of police accountability, who signs a subpoena, who holds a document.
He wanted to leave his contact details with me for Bevan to contact him, but one of the civil knights shut Sergeant Governor down and instructed him not to give me any details. One officer Naidu told the captain to force the gate open, which he did with a pry bar. Warrant Officer Naidu knew that I was an ex-policeman, and he then told me that he was charging me for not cooperating and withholding information, hence the defeating the ends of justice charge. One of Bevan's employees, Eckert van der Bijl, was working on the premises and was assaulted by an NIU officer, which incident was recorded by the CCTV cameras. Eckert was also assaulted later on that day by a uniformed policeman, it should say. Sometime after the initial police raid, Captain Dina Governor, Constable Ian Ronnie of the Metro Police, and another captain, unknown to me, arrived at the premises. I later established that...
Sorry. This is exactly what confused me, and I thought you were not arrested when you referred to just before the arrest happened. And now you say sometime after the initial police raid, and eventually the incident you are referring to now does result in an arrest.
No.
So what's the sometime after the initial?
When I say time, I don't mean a long time. It was like a matter of minutes. So it's a very short space of time, because I've got a long driveway. I'd say it's about between 50 meters probably and 60 meters. So by the time that I walked, they walked me up to the garage is at the top end of that 60 meters. So by the time I got there, Dina and Ian Ronnie had arrived.
Okay. So and how do you separate the raids? You refer to an initial raid. So if the people are there throughout and they eventually arrest you, what's an initial raid and what other raid is there? Because if you talk about initial, then there must be some other.
Where is that? Let me just go back to that.
Paragraph 36.
36. On one of Bevan's employees, Eckert van der Bijl, was working on the premises and was assaulted by an NIU officer, which incident was recorded on TV. Eckert was also assaulted later on that day by an uniform, sometime after the initial raid. Okay, what I mean there is when the civil and were at the gate. That's when it started. That's what I'm implying. Okay.
Can I I'm sorry about this. Can I take you back to paragraph 34? You say you were asked for Bevan's cell phone number and his whereabouts, which you did not know. I assume it's the whereabouts that you did not know. Obviously, you knew Bevan's cell phone number.
No, I did not. He changes his number quite often.
Also, it was both that you did not know, both the cell number and the whereabouts. Okay, yes. All right. Thank you. Please go back to where you were and continue reading.
Okay, Consimani, Captain unknown to me arrived at there. Okay, I later established that Constable Ian Ronnie from the Metro Police was off duty and arrived in his private vehicle. There appeared to be no reason why an off-duty member of the Metro would be involved in the police action on that day. Bevan's house, where he lived, was locked, and Constable Ronnie gave the go-ahead for the other policemen to force the kitchen security gate open, which was the NIU captain, and which he did. I asked them whether they had a search warrant, which they could not produce, and I was told that they did not need one. I told them that I do not live at that address and did not have keys to the premises. They insisted I enter the house with them. I asked that only 2 policemen enter for control purposes, because I did not know if there were any valuables or cash in the house and did not want to be responsible for anything going missing. Many police members entered and went into different areas of the house without any supervision. A young man, namely Michigan Hippolyte, who was then 19 years old, is now deceased, was asleep inside the house. Constable Ian Ronnie from the Durban Metro picked up 2 Chinese-manufactured two-way radios from the shelf in the kitchen and said that they were police scanners. Constable Ian Ronnie and one of the 7 Naidu took Michigan into the bathroom and questioned him about Bevan's whereabouts. I saw Constable Ian Ronnie push Michigan's head into the bath with water and hold it there on 2 occasions while Michigan struggled to breathe. I interviewed and told Constable Ian Ronnie to stop what he was doing to Michigan. He then stopped. Various other items, including 2 pellet guns and empty cartridge casings, including 9mm shells, a Ronnie rifle frame, which housed Bevan's Glock 9mm handgun, were taken. Later, I was informed that an AK-47 round was also allegedly found. I informed the policeman that both Bevan and his wife were licensed 9mm firearm holders.
Sorry, Mr. Lufses, just before we move off that, did Mr. Bevan own any high-caliber rifle or assault rifle?
No, he didn't at that stage, no.
At that stage?
Yeah.
Okay. When did he own it?
Let me just correct what I said. He registered a security company and he had applied for firearms. They were shotguns, but they actually were in the license of being processed, which didn't materialize. Okay, so, yeah.
Did he own any AK-47?
No, he did not.
Okay, thank you.
Paragraph 40. Bevan sometimes towed vehicles at his address when his business premises were full. The policeman scanned the disc on a Renault Duster motor vehicle which was legally towed and stored with the owner's consent during the floods storm which occurred in April 2022. When the policeman, called it up and it came up as stolen on a Brighton Beach case, the Brighton Beach policeman had previously come to the premises with the owner to remove the vehicle. However, the vehicle was left at the premises and had attracted storage charges which the owner had not paid. We showed the police the legal documentation together with the newspaper advertisement in the independent newspaper on Thursday, 21 July 2022, indicating that the vehicle would be sold to defray costs. After seeing the documents, the police left. I was then forced to open the garage, which I did under duress without a search warrant. My old police issued bulletproof vest and handcuffs were hanging on the wall in a bag which was covered in dust and insect droppings mess. I informed them that it was my issue which had been hanging on the wall for the last 15 years. When I resigned in 2009, they only took my service pistol, and I kept all my uniforms and other equipment.
Sorry, just before you go there, out of interest, aren't you under an obligation to hand back all the tools of trade?
Some of them, yes. The bulletproof vest should have been handed back. But if I can just explain how it remained in my possession. When I resigned in 2009, I went to the station commissioner and told him that I'm resigning. I had accumulated 9 months vacational leave over the years. And at that time, I don't know if it's changed now, if you left voluntary or resigned, you lost your leave, whatever leave you had accumulated, and you didn't get paid out for it. So I said to him, I want to resign. Can he please sign my accumulated leave, which amounted to 9 months? He refused to do that. He actually said to me that he won't do it because if he signs it and the 9 months leave is completed, I probably will withdraw the resignation. So I said to him, okay, let me post-date the resignation and he can keep it in his safe, and on that date he can submit it. So I had my firearm with me. I handed in my firearm. The bulletproof vest was still at home, in the garage, because we didn't really wear it. So I left almost immediately. I went to Secunda where I had employment. So I hardly came home. It was every now and again on a weekend. So I didn't have the opportunity to hand it in, and to be honest with you, I totally forgot about it. And as well, none of them actually came to me and reminded me or came to looking for it to hand it in. So I totally forgot about it. Okay.
Can I just to clarify, this garage you referred to at paragraph 41, is this at your property or where Bevan lived?
That's where Bevan was living.
Okay.
Yeah. But I used to live there previously.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
I was subsequently falsely charged for obstructing or defeating justice because I did not know Bevan's cell phone number and whereabouts, and also could not open the gate. Impersonating a policeman, possession of state property, possession of a stolen motor vehicle, possession of ammunition, which was a .357 Magnum rounds and one AK-47 bullet, which was allegedly found on the premises at Bevan's house.
Just on that paragraph 42.5, you say allegedly. Do you
The legal
dispute
stakes
that?
are clear. If units operate
Yes, I
outside
dispute
proper
it.
oversight, every case
Firstly,
they touch is
if I
at
can just
risk.
explain further,
That
Commissioners,
is the docket collapse.
the
finding
.357
from this
Magnum
commission.
rounds, I'm a licensed
Subscribe
firearm
to
holder of
Polypulse
that
for
caliber
legal deep
of
dives,
weapon.
and follow the full record
And
on
on the
Madlanga
day,
Today and Mzansi Pulse.
there was a captain from the Durban Central.
And that's your Polypulse brief for today. If this helped you make sense of the madness, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a breakdown. For more South African stories from a youth perspective, check out our sister channel at Mzansi Pulse. I'll see you tomorrow. Stay sharp, South Africa.